Welcome to Creepy, the best horror storyteller on YouTube.
It was a stormy night in the small town of Aspen. The wind was howling, the rain was pouring, and the thunder was rumbling. Rebecca, a young teacher, was working on her laptop in her cozy apartment, trying to prepare a lesson plan for the next day. She had moved to Aspen a few months ago, hoping to find some peace and quiet after a stressful breakup. She liked the town, it was friendly and scenic, but she also felt a bit lonely and bored. She missed the excitement and adventure of the big city. She was about to hit the save button when suddenly the power went out. She gasped and looked around, feeling a surge of panic. She grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight, hoping it was just a temporary outage. She checked the battery level. It was only 15%. She cursed and tried to call the power company, but there was no signal. She wondered if the storm had knocked down the phone lines. She felt a chill run down her spine as she realized she was completely cut off from the outside world. She decided to go to the window and see if anyone else had power. She walked across the dark living room, avoiding the furniture and the scattered papers. She reached the window and pulled the curtains aside. She gasped again as she saw that the whole town was plunged into darkness. The only light came from the flashes of lightning that illuminated the deserted streets and the eerie shadows. She felt a wave of fear wash over her as she wondered what was going on. Was it a natural disaster? A terrorist attack? A zombie apocalypse? She tried to calm herself down, telling herself it was probably just a bad storm. She told herself she was safe in her apartment and that the power would come back soon. She told herself she was not alone and that there were other people in the building. She told herself she had nothing to worry about and that everything would be fine. She was wrong. She heard a loud knock on the door that made her jump. She turned around and stared at the door, feeling a knot in her stomach. Who could it be? She wondered. She was not expecting anyone, and she did not know anyone in the building. She hoped it was a neighbor or a maintenance worker or someone who could help her. She walked towards the door, holding her phone in front of her. She reached the door and looked through the peephole. She saw a man wearing a black hooded jacket and a mask, holding a large knife in his hand. He looked straight at her and smiled wickedly. She screamed and backed away from the door, dropping her phone. She heard the man laugh and say in a raspy voice, "Hello, Rebecca. I've been waiting for you." She recognized the voice. It was the voice of her ex-boyfriend, Ryan. The one who had cheated on her, lied to her, and abused her. The one who had stalked her, threatened her, and tried to kill her. The one who had escaped from the mental hospital where he had been locked up for the past year. The one who had sworn to find her and make her pay for leaving him. She felt a surge of terror as she realized he had found her. He had followed her to Aspen and waited for the perfect moment to strike. He had cut the power and isolated her from the world. He had planned this all along, and he was not going to let her go. She ran to the bedroom, hoping to find a weapon or a way out. She slammed the door behind her and locked it. She heard him bang on the door and say, "Don't be shy, Rebecca. Let me in. I have a surprise for you." She looked around the room and saw a window. She ran to the window and tried to open it. It was stuck. She pulled harder and harder, but it did not budge. She cursed and looked for something to break it. She saw a vase on the dresser. She grabbed it and smashed it against the window. The glass shattered and the wind blew in. She felt a glimmer of hope as she saw the fire escape. She threw the vase aside and climbed out of the window. She stepped on the fire escape and looked down. She saw a dumpster below and a fence behind it. She thought she could jump and run away. She was about to do it when she heard him say, "Going somewhere, Rebecca?" She looked up and saw him on the roof. He had climbed up the fire escape and followed her. He was holding the knife and smiling. He said, "You can't escape me, Rebecca. I'm everywhere. I'm in your dreams, in your nightmares, in your mind. I'm the only one who loves you, Rebecca. The only one who understands you. The only one who can make you happy. And I'm the only one who can end your misery." He jumped from the roof and landed on the fire escape. He ran towards her and raised the knife. She screamed and backed away. She had nowhere to go. She was trapped. She was doomed. She closed her eyes and waited for the end. She never saw it coming.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more similar horror stories.